And welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. Today I'm taking a look at Transformers The Last Night. Is it the last night, like the very last one? I don't know. But this is the last night, deluxe class Cogman. And Cogman is very cool, and I want to give you plenty of looks at Cogman. I don't know if this is going to hit retail, in the US anyway. I really don't know. Let me adjust my earpiece there. I'm not sure. The movie didn't perform to expectations, which was like $1 billion. Like, you didn't make $1 billion, so your movie failed. I don't know what to say. The movie really has the fan base divided, like right down the middle. There are some people like myself who liked it. There are others that think it's the absolute worst thing ever in the earth of all time. I'm not one of those people, but I get it. If you are, that's cool. So because it underperformed and the reviews were pretty bad, the toys just really aren't getting distribution. In the United States, and the southeast part of the United States where I live, it's still first wave, and that's terrible. So anyway, I picked this guy up online. Let me give you a real close look at it. So here he is in vehicle mode. I magically transformed him, and he looks really good in vehicle mode. He's very sleek, not perfect. As you can see in my copy, there's some separation in the hood, which is kind of unfortunate. And mine has another quality control issue. Let me just show you this real quick. If you see right under that left headlight, there's a stress mark right there. And that is because the peg that pegs this piece in right here is too fat. That peg right there, too fat to go into that hole. And you can see that the holes themselves on my copy are not the same size. If you look at this right there and that on the other side, they're not the same. And I think that's a defect. At least it is on mine. And so in order for mine to tab itself in, it creates quite the little stress right there. I don't know how that's going to hold up over time. I've taken an X-Acto knife and kind of trimmed away as much as I can, but I'm still not quite perfect. So that is what it is. Aside from that, everything looks good. It's kind of plain. I mean, there's not really any paint. It's just sort of, I mean, maybe there's some paint. I don't think so, though. It's just the color of the plastic. It's got a real nice texture to it and a nice, kind of, the mold itself is really nice. There's lots of detailing, some ugly transformation lines there, but you've got also some nice, vehicle lines too. And this is a licensed Aston Martin vehicle. So says that insignia up on the front. And you also have one on the back, although there's a little bit split there. But you see the symbol right there. So this is an actual Aston Martin licensed vehicle, which is cool. You do get an Autobot symbol, which is always nice. And some paint inside of the hubcaps, also nice. He also rolls pretty well. No issues with him rolling whatsoever. On the underside, you do have some robot kibble. This is, sword storage here. Let me take that off. You do sort of have one of those deals, and I complain about this a lot, but he's transformed, and all he's missing is a head. But, you can clearly see that he's got two arms and the two legs, and you can see his feet kind of pushed up against each other. So there's not a whole lot of hidden robot underneath. It's just all kind of right there. But nitpicking aside, I really do like this figure. Now, one thing that you probably already know if you've seen The Last Night is, or actually, if you've seen The Last Night, you don't know this, that Cogman is a headmaster. Now, what is a headmaster? Well, a headmaster is when the robot, that's probably the size of you or me, transforms into the head of another larger bot. And so in the movie, and let me open this up real quick. In the movie, this actually is Cogman right here. And he drives the car in the movie, but the transformed vehicle into car with Cogman on the head is not really what we got. Rumor is that they filmed that, or that they were going to film it and it got cut. Why? I don't know. take a closer look at Cogman Actual. Yep, so there he is. That's his face, and that's his body, and there you go. There's Cogman. Now, on the back, since he is a headmaster, that becomes the actual face of Cogman in the movie. All kinds of confusing. Now, there was another rumor that at some point in the film, Cogman, as a headmaster, was going to transform and somehow take over Nitro Zeus's body and attach onto his head onto Nitro Zeus's body. That also did not happen in the film. So unfortunately, we're just left to, and maybe fortunately, we're left to use our own imaginations. Nitro Zeus head does come off, so you can put this one on top if you so choose to do that. And I kind of recommend you do because it's fun. Anyway, that's typical Headmaster or Titan Master design. Legs don't split apart. A little bit of hand and fist detail, and then the articulation, again, like all the Titans Returns, Titan Masters. Basically, you know what you're getting. Inside this vehicle is an awesome cockpit. Steering wheel on the right-hand side, as it is in the UK. Very cool. There's also a little center console unit. Couple of sort of seats. You've got seat bottoms, you just don't have seat tops. So there's that. Also nice details up on the top of the vehicle while I'm looking at it this close. This does close back down and pegs back in, and now I don't have Cogman inside of himself, but you get the idea. Nice red paint in the back too. What you want to do to get him transformed is grab the top piece right here and just pull it back up as if you're going to put him back inside, and then grab the back piece and you can separate that off as well. Just get your hands in there. You can start to separate some things, and that'll pull right up just like that. Take this piece, and it's on a dual hinge, so just hinge it back behind itself like that. Just leave it there for now. Come back to the front, like I showed you earlier. You want to take this part, pull it down, kind of flip that up. You can come to the side of Cogman, pull the arms out, and you'll see that these are tabbed right here. So I just pulled that apart. And it's kind of one of those 3-part tabs, so it's in there pretty snug. Just give it a little bend and it comes apart like that. Pull the arms out just like that. You want to grab the top of the hood, and it's on a little bit of a pop-up joint. So I'm going to lift that up like that. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to turn that around. Make sure you've got clearance, which is what I didn't do. Okay, after you've turned it around, I'm going to push it back down, and then I'm going to take the backpack and just kind of lay that right up on top just like that. Now I'm going to come around to the front and look at the detail here. He's Cogman, and you can see all the cogs and springs and gears, and that's a really detailed look. That's underneath this panel, and it's even on the inside, which is pretty neat. You're going to take this whole panel, and you're going to flip this down just like that. Now you're going to finish forming the legs. You're going to take this panel right here, and you're going to fold this in, and then push it up against the back of the leg. Now you can pull down the foot like that, and you're basically done. Just take the leg and turn it. Rinse and repeat on the other side. We're going to take that, fold this piece in, fold out the foot, then collapse that back down, turn it, and you've got 2 legs. Now you're going to form the rest of the arms. Again, you've got some tabs. We're going to go ahead and untab that. There's a tab, there's a hole. Take this piece, push it in, and actually before you do that, grab the fist and move the fist around, close it back up. Do the same thing over here. Open that, close that back up, and I've already got separation there. Now you're going to take the crotch piece and you're going to lift that up, snap that into place. Not really much snapping, just kind of move it into place. Now you're going to take Cogman Actual He's going to do a sit-up and then another sit-up to form the Cogman head. We're going to put that right on top, just like all your Titans Returns figures. Exactly the same, actually. All right, and you're just about ready. Now you have the option of flaring up the shoulder pieces. So you can do that. I don't like to do that, so I'm going to put it back down. But you have that option if you so choose to do that. I will take the Excalibur sword, which is awesome that it came with it. Let's look at that up close. The sword is completely awesome. Lots of detailing inside of that. I believe that is supposed to be the Excalibur sword. We're going to put that into Cogman's hand. Now we're going to stand him up, pose him up. I mean, seriously, what's not to love here? Look at this thing. It looks amazing. So yeah, some QC issues on my figure, but bot mode more than makes up for it for me. Do the 360 all the way around. Yes, he has some kibble. I mean, he is a movie figure, and they do have that. You got some tires on the back here. The compacted back of the vehicle on the back. Backpack. I don't know why my voice did that. But you have a very detailed, fun to play with figure. Lots of good articulation. Let's take a closer look. Again, the detail on him is just simply stunning. What he lacked in paint and vehicle mode is somewhat made up for in robot mode. You've got this gold in kind of painted on silver, just all over the top shoulders, on the chest piece. This almost looks like it's been war battered. Like at one time it was completely covered and now it's kind of battered, and so you see those cogs and gears underneath, which is really awesome. Like, what a look that is. Into the abdomen, again, the same thing. He's just really a gorgeously painted figure. Don't know where all this paint was in vehicle mode, but gotta save money somewhere, I suppose. Again, some more paint down on the legs. Now, the articulation on Cogman is great. Titan Master head, so, typical, little bit wobbly, but not when I shake it like some figures. But you can spin the head all the way around. His arm is on a ball joint, although if the shoulders are flared up, you're going to have some issue moving that around, so the choice, again, is yours. You also have a swivel right underneath, or right above the elbow. Bend on the elbow itself, no wrist articulation other than it bending backwards. But, I think I saw on, might have been Chefitron's channel, where he took the fist and kind of put it down like that. So again, for posability, like you kind of get what I'm going for. Like he's kind of pointing the sword down, and it's just awesome. That's very cool, although I doubt intentional by Hasbro. Ball joint right there on the upper thigh. He does have swivel right above the knee, and the knee itself, even though it doesn't bend during transformation, it is on this really tight kind of joint. I'm not sure why, but it can go all the way back like that, so there is good movement, and there's absolutely no twists or turns on the foot. So yeah, you're going to have to get like a side foot pose if you're trying to get fancy with posing Cogman. So that's really my review. I mean, he feels great in hand. The figure itself is something that I'm really, really happy with, and I really didn't pay much over retail. It took a little bit of time for him to come in, but if you look at Amazon.com and a few places like that, maybe even eBay, you can find him for a little bit over retail, and if you do happen to see him at that price point, I definitely recommend picking him up. Size comparison-wise, looking at Titans Returns, I mean, he's kind of a short guy. He's not real tall, and his box is so funny. The box, he's got almost like he's on a plastic platform because he's just so little, and so they have to boost him up a little bit. Let's see some other figures that I have kind of close by that I can do a real quick side-by-side. So, you can kind of get an idea. Yeah, he's on the shorter side for sure, although not as short. Yeah, I'm happy to say that he is actually much taller than Lockdown, because Lockdown's too tiny. Anyway, so that's my review. I recommend that you pick this guy up. This is the Last Night Transformers Deluxe Class Cogman. Again, if you see them, pick them up. If you don't see them, and you probably won't, go out of your way to find them. Don't pay crazy amounts of money. There are good deals to be had. Just spend a little time and look for them. So thanks again for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. You can catch all my videos. I'm at youtube.com/eBEFOREiNet. I'm on Facebook. It's facebook.com/eBEFOREi. Twitter at eBEFOREiNet. And everywhere else, just look for me and you can find me. I appreciate each and every one of your views, and I'll catch you back here again next time.